This man clutches a tendril from the horse, then lifts his own narelle braid. The second the two connect, the horse jolts violently but quickly calms down because a telepathic link forms between the man and the beast, letting them understand each other without a single word. This is how the Na'vi tame creatures. They stand 3 meters tall and possess 4 times the strength of humans. For centuries, they live in harmony on the planet Pandora until humans from Earth invade. It's 254. Earth's resources are severely depleted, leaving humanity's survival hanging by a thread. Scientists discover Pandora, a planet 4 light-years from Earth, which is rich in mineral resources enough to solve Earth's crisis. But the Na'vi are deeply connected to nature. Human mining would destroy their home. That's why they loathe humans with every fiber of their being. To get close to the Navy, scientists merge human and Na'vi DNA to create avatars, biological proxies controlled by human operators. But disaster strikes right when the project hits a critical stage. The operator of one avatar is killed in a robbery. Since the avatar can only be controlled by someone with matching DNA, his identical twin brother, Jake, becomes the only candidate. Jake used to be a Marine. A combat injury left him paralyzed from the waist down. He's tired of living a half-life, craving a cause worth fighting for. He climbs into the link chamber and connects to his avatar for the first time. Regaining the use of his legs feels like a rebirth. Before long, Jake fully masters the avatar's body. His impressive progress catches the eye of a colonel. The colonel scoffs at the scientist's avatar program, advocating brute force to seize the unobtainium. He orders Jake to infiltrate the Na'vi, find their weaknesses, and convince them to relocate within 3 months or face a full-scale military attack. In return, he promises to cure Jake's paralysis. Jake agrees to the deal, becoming a mole for the military. One day, Dr. Grace, the project's leader, flies Jake into the wilderness for a field expedition. Suddenly, a massive beast attacks. Jake panics and flees, jumping off a waterfall and gets separated from the team. A female Na'vi named Inili spots him, recognizing him as a human invader. As night falls, a pack of predators ambushes Jake. Nadili leaps out, slaying the beasts and saving his life. Jake chases after her to thank her, but Nadili wants nothing to do with him. Just then, more Wu's Priestade appear. They are the seeds of the Tree of Souls, and only the purest souls can attract them. Now they swarm Jake, clinging to his body. Nadili is astounded. This is a sacred sign, a miracle to the Na'vi. She decides to take Jake to meet her clan. The Na'vi are divided into many clans. Inili belongs to the Almataya clan. Her father is the clan leader, and her mother is the spiritual leader and healer. The clan is curious to see what makes this human so special, chosen by the Tree of Souls. They let Jake stay in Italy to teach him their customs and language. Every night, when his avatar sleeps, Jake's consciousness returns to his paralyzed body. Then he reports all he's learned to the colonel. Jake learns so fast. He masters climbing and leaping through the jungle and becomes skilled with a bow and arrow. Nineli takes him to the Hallelujah Mountains, the nesting ground of the Ikran. For every Na'vi hunter, taming an Ikran is a pivotal initiation into their role. After a fierce struggle, Jake successfully bonds with an Ikran, flying side by side with Nidalee through the skies. Jake earns the Na'vi's trust and is officially accepted into the clan. Slowly, his loyalties begin to shift. He starts to dream of a future where humans and Na'vi can coexist in peace. Dr. Grace sees this change in him and reveals a long-buried truth. Once, the Na'vi and humans lived in harmony. Dr. Grace even built a school to teach the Na'vi human language. She thought the Tree of Souls and the Na'vi's system of ideological communication held significant research value, which was far more important than those minerals. But that peace didn't last. Soldiers raided the school to clear the way for unobtainium mining, slaughtering everyone inside, including Nidili's older sister, right in front of her eyes. Jake finally realizes the truth. The conflict between humans and Na'vi is irreconcilable. If the two sides can never coexist, where does he belong? After days of getting along, Anili and Jake fall in love with each other. Under the Tree of Souls, they connect the tendrils on their neural cues, successfully bonding as mates, but the next day, human bulldozers march into the jungle. The massive machines destroy everything in their path without mercy. It turns out that when the Colonel watched Jake's daily video diary yesterday, he heard Jake admit that the Na'vi needed nothing from Earth, and no matter what humans did, the Na'vi would never leave their home. So the Colonel decides to drive them away by force. To stop the bulldozers, Jake smashes the cameras on the machines with stones. Watching the surveillance footage, the Colonel realizes Jake has betrayed them. He hastily opens the link chamber doors, ordering Dr. Grace and Jake to disconnect from their avatars. Jake is forcibly awakened. He begs the Colonel for one more chance, vowing he will persuade the Na'vi to evacuate voluntarily. The Colonel agrees to give him an hour. Helpless, Jake confesses everything to the Navy, urging them to flee quickly. Feeling betrayed, the Na'vi are filled with rage. They tie up Jake and Dr. Grace's avatars, preparing to launch a counterattack against the humans. Soon, human warplanes arrive, dropping bombs on the Na'vi's home. Bows and arrows prove futile against the mechs and warheads. The Na'vi can only watch helplessly as their home, which they've inhabited for tens of thousands of years, is destroyed. Nidili's father is also killed in the attack. The Colonel cuts Jake and Dr. Grace's link cables again, branding them traitors and imprisoning them. A soldier who disapproves of the military's actions breaks into the cell, helping Jake and the research team escape. As they board a helicopter, Dr. Grace is shot and her life hangs in the balance. To get Dr. Grace medical help, Jake decides to win back the Na'vi's trust, and there's only one way: taming a Toruk. Torts are at the top of the planet's food chain. No beast dares to provoke them. Throughout history, only 5 people have ever succeeded, and those 5 are known as the Riders of the Last Shadow, the absolute leaders of the Navy. Just as the Na'vi are praying under the Tree of Souls, Jake descends from the sky. He has actually tamed the King of the Skies. This earns Jake back the Navy's trust, and they willingly follow him. Nanili forgives him too. Now Jake is the Navy's last hope. Jake asks everyone to help save Dr. Grace. Soon after, Grace and her avatar are laid under the Tree of Souls. All the Navy pray, hoping to transfer her soul into the avatar's body. Tragically, Dr. Grace's injuries are too severe. She doesn't survive the ritual. Her death hits Jake hard. He makes up his mind to defend their sacred home alongside the Navy and fight back against the humans. Within days, Jake successfully lobbies 15 clans, gathering over 2,000 warriors to unite and protect Pandora. The Great Battle arrives as scheduled. The Na'vi know the planet far better than humans, using terrain advantages and magnetic field interference to ambush the human air force. However, the Navy's flesh and blood are no match for the mechs, and they soon suffer heavy casualties. Just as the Na'vi are on the verge of despair, hordes of beasts rush out of the deep forest and tens of thousands of raptors fill the sky. This is Iowa's punishment for the humans. The night before, Jake had prayed to the Tree of Souls, begging for help to save the Na'vi's home. The humans are quickly routed under the beast attack. Iowa has truly heard Jake's prayer, and the Na'vi seize the opportunity to launch a counter-offensive. Enraged, the Colonel refuses to accept defeat. He puts on his battle armor, jumps out of his downed warplane, and intends to kill Jake the traitor with his own hands. Fortunately, Nidalee arrives just in time, shooting him dead with a single arrow. In this battle, Jake successfully leads the Na'vi to victory. The humans are deported back to Earth, but Jake chooses to stay, for he has truly fallen in love with this land and with Nidalee, this brave girl. He makes a bold decision to abandon his human body and officially become a Na'vi under the Tree of Souls. Jake's soul awakens in his avatar's body.